Join me for a late April garden tour. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is time for the end of April garden tour. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I like to give a garden tour at least once a month. My last garden tour I think was the end of March or early April, so we're going to do another one now because there are things in the garden and they're starting to grow. And this is the best the yard has looked this season because I just cut the grass. I didn't do a good job, but I did cut it. But anyway, let me show you what's going on outside in the outdoor grow space. Since I'm already standing in this area right here, we will talk about this GreenStalk. This GreenStalk, I just put basil in the top, and then I have lettuce in the next 3 tiers, and in the very bottom down here I just planted parsley, and in the very bottom I have cilantro, but y'all, my cilantro is looking sad. So I added some lettuce down there as well because y'all, if this is the best we're gonna get with cilantro, we're gonna be in trouble. I got like 3 little sprigs of cilantro. But the lettuce up here is looking pretty good. Some of the lettuce I started from seeds and some I transplanted in. So there's a variety of different types of lettuce throughout here. Oh, that one's not looking happy. We might have to replace that one. But the rest are looking pretty good. I've brought my pepper green stalk from the indoor space where I had it all winter long, harvesting peppers all winter long. And so I have it outside now. There's 3 of the tiers over here and 1 way over there. And then I also had another green stalk in the basement. I've already brought that tier out. That is cabbage growing in that tier there. And in this tier here, I have tomatoes and some lettuce that was growing in there. So I'm trying to get everything outside and get it hardened off. And since I'm hardening them off and the weather's supposed to be great for the next 10 days, I still have 2 more tiers I need to bring out. So I've been contemplating on whether or not I need to get 2 more, maybe 3-tier green stalks, maybe 2 more to go in my indoor grow space so I can stop having to bring them in and take them out and that kind of stuff throughout the winter. Because y'all, I'm getting old. And having to carry these tiers in and out the house is getting to be too much. So I think, with the exception of hardening off peppers, because I always want to harden off a tier or 2. So maybe 1 5-tier green stalk, because I can make that 3 high. That'll give me 2 tiers, and I can always bring in 2 tiers of the peppers to harden them off over the winter. So that might be what I do in the future. And the Mother's Day GreenStalk sale is going to be coming up very soon. And I know the original GreenStalk is on sale during that time period. So I may just have to pick me up another one. Anyway, let me finish showing you the patio. Back here, that's all I have left of my flowers. I lost quite a few flowers over the last week, and I tried to rejuvenate them, and y'all, it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. If you look right there at that one, I think there's only 1 alive in that, and I think there were 12 in there and I got 1. And the one right beside it is in bad shape, or the next 2 or 3 are in bad shape, I should say. But those were my pansies that didn't get watered, and so I lost those. But, and I'm in the shade, so I'm going to try to brighten this up for you. In this area right here, I have petunias and coleus that I started from seed, and they're actually doing really well. We will get those in the ground sometime next week. And I didn't lose any of those. I only lost the pansies. Can y'all see those hostas growing back there? That plant in the ground, those are hostas growing all along this flower bed here. And I didn't grow hostas this year indoors, but let's see, that one right there, that style hosta, I grew from seed, what, 3 or 4 years ago. And there's another one, and there's one all the way on the end where I grew hostas over the winter from seed, and then I planted them out, and they're doing well. So I'm proud of myself. This is a Napa cabbage. I had it growing indoors. It was dying. I brought it outside. I forgot about it. And I had 3 in there. 2 died. And then this one here is flourishing. It's flourishing now. It's looking good. What kind is it? This is a Hilton Napa cabbage. And this will probably be the first cabbage we harvest in the next couple of weeks or so because it's really looking good. All the way in the back, y'all, that's my collards. We ate collards all winter long off of this one plant, right, or this one pot right here. We were able to eat collards indoors. I had that growing in my indoor grow space. I brought it outside, and it's still doing really, really well. So we need to get those harvested and get those on the stove and cooking, y'all. And down in the front here are tomatoes and peppers and anything from a transplant standpoint that I still need to get in the ground. I even have back here eggplants that are doing well. It's not time to put eggplants in the ground yet. I'm still a couple of weeks out or more, but at least they're out here, and they will already be hardened off when the time comes. And this is what I have left of my cool season crops and onions, which we'll be finding homes for. And I know the shadows are bad, y'all. I'm showing you the best I can. We'll find homes for all of this very, very soon. And this GreenStalk right here, this is all collard greens, even though this don't look like no collard green to me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really believe those Georgia collards were mislabeled, but I have champion collard greens in here. I have what's supposed to be Vats and what's supposed to be Georgia collards. And I went in here yesterday and added some Morris Heading collard greens in here, but nothing but collards in all 5. Yes, all 5 pockets, just collard greens. And I won't be putting any collard greens anywhere in my raised beds in the ground anywhere, because this supply right here will be enough for me to eat fresh as well as freeze some for the winter. And I still have so many collard greens in my freezer. So this would be more than enough, and I can save that raised bed space for something else. And as I've mentioned in quite a few videos now, this is my newest toy. This is my Vego elevated raised bed. And y'all, I love this. I love this. I still like my GreenStalks just as well though, but there is a different type and a different method of growing for everybody and for every situation. But this is my Vego elevated raised bed, and I am using the square foot garden method to grow things in here. Everything on this side right here, I started from seeds, and I have over here radishes that are, ooh, they're looking pretty good. In a couple of weeks, they'll be coming out, but that's all radish. Right here, I have spinach, and I have never been able to grow spinach outside. And I'm actually growing spinach right here. Right here, I am growing turnips, but this is the 7-top turnip green, so there's not going to be any turnips growing here. This is for the leaves. They're growing nicely. I got 2 squares of that. And then we move over to cabbage. What kind of cabbage am I growing? Golden Acre, and it's getting ready to start heading up. That one is anyway. This one in the back isn't as happy as that one, but it's still happy. And over here, I should say, these were all transplants. So from the cabbage this way, I transplanted everything in. And I have onion growing right here, and it's looking good as well. That one's not happy. With the exception of that one limp one there, all of the rest of these are looking really good. And then over here on the end, I am growing cauliflower. I think I got Flame Star in here and another variety, but I don't remember the variety. So all cool season crops in here for now. But as I start taking things out, so when I get the radishes out, I'll put something else in that pocket. Or when I take the cabbage out, I'll put something else in that pocket. So we're going to keep this one going all season long, and it's right next to the house. So if I want to run out here and grab something super quick, just run out the door, grab it back in the house, and I'm good to go. Same thing with the green stalks that I have over here by the house. I try to put things in that I want to get it. I want to get in, get it quickly, and get back in the house. There's this elevated raised bed, and that's everything in the patio area. So let's go over to the neighbors because I did some things over there, and then we will hit my garden. Look at that freshly cut grass, even though I did a horrible job cutting it. All right. Over here at the neighbors. So we have a total of 12 beds over here. Of the 12 beds, 10 of them are wooden and 2 are metal raised beds. And then we have a GreenStalk on the corner here. So I guess we'll just start right here at this GreenStalk. I'm going to try to find the light. In this GreenStalk, in the very bottom, I am growing green beans. Do they break ground? Oh, no, that's something out of a tree. So in the bottom, I have beans growing in the bottom. They haven't broken the ground yet. It's only been a couple of days. It hasn't even been a week yet. And then this next layer is lettuce. And then actually all of these, something's been digging. These next 3 layers are all lettuce. Some are transplants. That's pretty. And some I started from seeds. Some of these I'm triaging. They were in the critical care unit, but they're trying to get bigger. And then some of these were really nice looking lettuce before I even put them in here. In the very top, where something's been digging, I have radishes. And y'all, I just put this radish in here 2 days ago, 3 days ago. We put this up, 4 days. Y'all, I don't know, maybe 4 days ago. The radish is already sprouted and come up. And then something dug in these 2 pockets, which would have been the spinach, and it hasn't broken the ground yet. So 2 pockets will probably have to be replanted. But that's this GreenStalk. Last year, I had 7 tiers on this GreenStalk. This year, I decided to only put 5 tiers over here. And I've moved the top tiers from this one and 2 other ones so I can make my 14th GreenStalk. And yes, I did say the 14th GreenStalk. I prefer to work on shorter GreenStalks because I'm short and I can reach every pocket better. And so I reduce the size so that it's more manageable for myself. The other GreenStalk, we have it ready to go. We've already cleaned them out and everything. We went ahead and put a lid on it to keep trash from getting in it since we've already cleaned it up. And the other 3 tiers are over there ready to go. And in this GreenStalk, we will be putting peppers and tomatoes, but it's still a little early for those. In this bed right here, I started 2 different types of potatoes. My neighbor and I had a really good time planting that bed up. And so we got potatoes going in there, and y'all, we found potatoes in there from last year that we missed. But these next 3 beds are the beds that I worked on just yesterday. So let's talk about what I have in those. I'm always trying to find the light. But in here, I have Brussels sprouts in the back. I have cabbage, kale, kohlrabi, and onion over there. In this bed, I have Napa cabbage growing in the front. And then I have 5 very pitiful looking celery plants and then onion all the way in the back over there. And in this last bed, I only put onion in this back corner, and we called it quits. So those are the 3 beds that I've worked on so far, in addition to the potatoes over there, and that's it. And we'll be ready to plant the rest of these beds up very, very soon. So here's the orchard area. I have strawberries growing in all 3 of the GreenStalks. And I got a weepy one right there. I transplanted that one in yesterday. But I have strawberry plants, and hopefully this year we're going to get a really, really good harvest. I didn't buy any strawberries this year. Everything's coming back from last year. Or I grabbed a runner and I took those runners and replanted the strawberries. In this bed right here, I don't have anything yet that I intended to plant. But of course, potato, and guess what? Potatoes. I grew fingerling potatoes last year, and there were so many. I could not get them all out. And so I know when I reuse that soil, I was going to have fingerling potatoes growing everywhere, and they've already started coming up. I'm just going to let them do what they do. We'll pick the potatoes if I can, and if not, they'll just be there while I replant this bed with something else. So I think this is going to be a muskmelon bed in the very near future, but the potatoes are fine for now. There were so many blooms on this tree initially. Hopefully we'll get peaches. Blueberry plant right here. And I think it's still alive. It looks like it's still alive, but it hasn't awakened for the year yet. That is a first year, I think it was a 2-year-old tree. And that is a pink lady tree. And I'm not expecting to get any apples, but there are some really nice blooms up there for my apple tree. There's another blueberry, which needs to be watered as well. And I just purchased this one this year, so it was already awake when I purchased it, and it already had blooms on it. So hopefully we'll get blueberries on that one this year. And see, there are already blooms on these strawberries. So I should get strawberries on these plants this year. That's also a first-year tree. It is a Honeycrisp, 2-year-old tree, I should say, and I'm not expecting anything on it this year. Over there on my patio, y'all, that's where I have those extra tiers that I'm going to create my 14th, I should say, GreenStalk. But the one thing I didn't realize is that that's basket weave, and these aren't basket weave, but I'm going to try to put them together anyway. They should fit. Hopefully they'll fit together, and we can use the basket weave with the non-basket weaves together. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Little birdie back there checking things out. Anyway, another peach tree that had a few blooms, 2-year-old tree, and a 2-year-old tree. Might be 3-year-old, I don't forgot. But anyway, blueberries here. And in this metal tub right here, this tub then had like 6 different homes in the 3 years it's been in the ground. And I just keep moving it and keep moving it. But I've moved this metal galvanized tub here. It has holes in the bottom because I drilled them in there myself. And I've had strawberries in here for the last 2 years. I've moved it to this spot into my little orchard area. And I'm thinking about letting some either cantaloupe or watermelon trellis out of this tub into this space right here on the ground and just let it run along the ground here. That's the plan anyway. Anyway, let's move on over to the main garden area. So in the main garden area, I have brassicas growing pretty much everywhere. I have different cabbages growing right here in this bed, as well as this bed right beside it here. And in the very back on the trellis here, I've already started cucumbers from seeds. I also have started rattlesnake green beans from seeds. And this whole bed right here, I have bush beans and pole beans all growing in that bed right there. Nothing has broken ground yet, but that bed and these 2 beds right here are fully laid out. The seeds are in, the plants are in. Now we just got to wait to see what those beds are going to do. In the back, I have a blueberry bush, and in the very back on the trellis, I have cucumbers. Nothing has come up yet. Again, cucumbers I started from seeds. Now, it's just a little early for me to be putting out my cucumbers as transplants into the ground. The soil hasn't really warmed up that great, but the seeds should be fine in the soil. And then as the soil warms up, those seeds should germinate. And I've done that in many years before. Hopefully it'll work again this year. If not, I got more seeds and we'll just plant some more when the soil does warm up even more in the next couple of weeks. So I have strawberries. I have strawberries in all three of these fire rings with tons of blooms. There are blooms all over these. And these strawberries have been going 3 or 4 years, depending on which ones they are. I have one blueberry right there. And on the fence behind it here, behind the strawberries on that cattle panel trellis, are grapes. And y'all, we're gonna have grapes from 3 different plants this year. I'm already starting to see the little places where the grapes are gonna be. Like this right here, this will be grapes several months from now, but this is where the grapes are gonna come on. And this is the only wooden bed that I've planted out. The only thing missing are the tomatoes that'll go in the back. In the middle row, I have mustard greens. In the very front, I have onions on either end. And I have cabbage, different types of cabbage and cauliflower right in the center there. And I got my drip irrigation back in this bed. And that is the only wooden bed that I've planted so far this year. Everything else has been metal beds. So let's keep heading over this way. These are potatoes. This whole bed is a bed of different types of potatoes, early, mid, and late season potatoes. I already got my drip irrigation in as well. The potatoes on this end are mid-season potatoes, I believe. Yep, they're all mid-season on this end. And on the back end, back there, I have mid and late season potatoes. But this end always does better, so I always put my favorites down on this end. In this bed right next to it is mostly just herbs. I have herbs growing all over this bed. And on the trellis, I have sugar snap peas, which I think are disgusting, but they did break the ground, and so they will be coming up here really soon. The chives and the sage are perennials. They came up from last year, as did the thyme right there. I think that's one cabbage plant because I had an open spot there. In the front of this bed, there's supposed to be some carrots. I don't see any carrots. I don't see any carrots. I see weeds, but no carrots. There's really nothing to show in this GreenStalk yet, but I just planted it out with all yellow wax beans, and it's only been a day, maybe 2. So I know the beans have not broke ground yet, but that one is ready to go. We just need to wait for it to do its thing. In this box, y'all, I'm playing with some potatoes. I said I was going to grow some potatoes in a box. I've seen it on YouTube. So I'm like, I'm going to join in on the fun. And y'all, these potatoes have already broken ground. So there are potatoes, little potatoes in here. And as the potatoes come up, I will backfill this box just to see if that helps with the potato growth. Uh-oh, that one's growing behind. Okay, come on to the front, come to the light. There's peace in the light. Okay, there we go. You grow on this side of that lid there. I should have taped that down, but I didn't. But anyway, potatoes are growing right here, and they're growing nicely in my little box. Let's just hope the box holds out for the year. Now, y'all, look at that broccoli. Ooh-wee, that broccoli looks good. Look at that. It's so green and healthy and happy. There's quite a bit of broccoli in here. Next to the broccoli, I have some cabbage. I have some cauliflower. There's some onion in there. And in the back, I started about 6 heads of lettuce. And so that is heading lettuce all the way in the back over there. But y'all, it looks good. Y'all, I'm proud of this bed. This bed looks really, really good. It did really well for me last year also. And yes, I put brassicas here because they'll be protected from that evening sun, because I have some super dwarf trees, if you want to call it that. They're called shareable or reachable. They're called reachable trees. They're fruit trees. and they shade that really hot evening sun, and it keeps this bed here from catching on fire, if you know what I mean. I planted some lettuce in the front of this bed as well. I have brassicas in the back, and I have onion in the middle. I'm going to put muskmelon. I'm going to put cantaloupe and honeydew back there so they can get that hot evening sun hitting that trellis that's right there. And that's the place where I grew them a couple of years ago, and they did really well, so we're going to try it again. I have turnip greens right there, and these are purple top, white something turnip greens. So there will be turnips in that bed right there. I don't eat the turnips though. I'm growing it for the greens. In the very front, supposed to be carrots. I think I see about 5 or 6 of them trying to come in. I have my Korean radish growing right there, and they're looking happy. And behind there, on this trellis behind it, we are going to have cucumbers growing. And again, it's really too early for cucumbers, but it looks like they're trying to break the ground. Hopefully it's not too early. And in this bed right here, I have onion in the front. I have 6 more broccoli plants that I just put in the ground yesterday. They were on their last leg. They were part of that group of plants that didn't get watered. So I'm hoping to revive those 6 broccoli plants. And just behind those, y'all, are some more potatoes. The ones in the very back are potatoes from last year. And y'all, what I'm trying to do is get to the point where not only am I growing my own food, but I want to be self-sustaining to the point where I don't have to buy seeds and seed potatoes and those types of things and starts. I want to be able to do all of my starts myself. That's number one. And after I get good at that, I want to get good at harvesting my own seeds as well. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working on it. So y'all, I think that's it. I've talked about pretty much everything in the garden, and then I got off topic and talked about a few other things. But I think that's it. I don't think I missed anything other than a couple potato bags over here that I just saw. Oh yeah, and the rhubarb. Oh, and the peach trees in the front yard. But I think you got the idea of how the garden's doing here the last couple of days in the month of April. And I will keep the videos coming so you can see how everything starts to take off and get all healthy and pretty, like those broccoli plants over there in that one bed. Everything is going to be just as happy as those plants are in the very near future, including this broccoli right here that's kind of sizzled. But yeah, we're going to get some water on them right now. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the late April garden tour. And if you did, consider subscribing to my channel, giving me a thumbs up, turning on notifications, and sharing with everybody you know. I will keep the videos coming all summer long, all the way up to and including the harvest. And then in the winter, y'all, we're going to do stuff inside. So I'm always here. I'm always doing something. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.